perfectly fine.
Whatever. Takže můžeme, jo? Okay. Hi and welcome to our next interview. This time we are at Loudbeat on tour in Austria with an Austrian DJ and producer Martin Schober, also known as Mefjus. Mefjus.
Whatever. Whatever, man.
I don't think we really need to introduce this iconic drum and bass producer who ranks amongst the most popular in Czech Republic.
Right. Thanks, man.
So, hi Martin. First of all, thank you for joining us for the interview tonight.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm alright, man. I got a little bit of a sore neck. I got like a nerve pinch or something. It's a bit weird, but you know, I'll survive. It's alright.
Are you pumped for tonight?
Yes, man.
For your back-to-back
Face? Playing back-to-back with Florian is always so much fun, and we both got a lot of new songs and updates and all that, so it should be a rowdy one. Absolutely.
Perfect, yeah. So, it's not your first time playing at Loudbeat, obviously. Do you still enjoy it?
Absolutely. I mean, playing at Loudbeat or Czech Republic for that matter is similar like playing in Austria. It feels like home, you know, people know the tunes, they love the music. And it's always good fun, so I'm always looking forward to those shows.
Yeah, perfect. So, do you often stay after finishing your set? Do you have like any friends around, or do you just go straight back to the hotel?
I mean, it really depends. You know, if you have to travel the next day, I'd like to really go pretty much to the hotel after the set. But tonight, you know, Florian is there. A couple of Czech friends are there. You know, colleagues like Hybrid Minds who I haven't seen in a while. So we're definitely gonna have a drink later, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
Okay. So before we get to your music career, I'd like to ask you about your free time.
Yeah.
How do you spend it when you're not focusing on music? Like we've noticed you've spent a lot of time with like Camera and Cricket guys, skateboarding and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the relationship with them is very fun because it's on many levels. You know, we're the same age. We grew up in certain in similar environments when it comes to our musical background. So that is one connection we have, obviously the music, but also skateboarding. Like, you know, Reine came who used to be a professional skateboarder and he's still so insanely good. So Marcus Crooked and I are just, you know, having it for the fun, and Reine is still owning this skate park. And so yeah, I mean, you know, I don't see them guys that often, but I go skateboarding like three times a week. I try to. And it's such a nice contrast to being in the studio, you know. In many ways, it's very similar. You set yourself a goal, and you have to make and try the trick 1,000 times, and then you land it, and you progress. And it's similar with music making. So yeah.
Okay. So we do have a skateboard with us. Like, could you perhaps show us your favorite trick?
I could try. Yes, I got not the ideal shoes for that, but I'll definitely give it a try. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. And do you have like any other hobbies apart from skateboarding and music?
I mean, I'm starting to pick in my tennis career back up. I used to play a lot of tennis when I was a teenager, but I haven't played in a couple of years. But we're actually going on a sort of boot camp in 3 weeks from now. A couple of my friends from the old days, and it's a week training camp. It's gonna be awesome. So I would say just sports, you know, activities. Go outside, enjoying nature, having a laugh outside. That's definitely something I can appreciate.
Okay. And how about cooking, for example? Do you cook for yourself?
Not really, man. Like, you know, I live by myself, so I give it a try here and then I buy a lot of shit at the grocery store, and then I end up throwing shit away at the end of the week because, you know, I'm almost never at home, so a lot of the stuff goes old, and then I feel bad for throwing it away. So, you know, I don't really cook that often, no.
Okay, so what is your favorite cuisine to eat?
A lot. I mean, I love Austrian, like classical Austrian stuff. I love Asian food, sushi stuff. You know, Thai stuff is amazing. Whatever, really, man. You know, Italian stuff is great. I think I can eat everything. I reckon, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so let's go back to the music. Like your first experience with production comes not from drum and bass, but it was rather hip hop that kept you and your brother occupied in the early days. Yeah. So your brother used to MC and he produced the instrumentals for him in Cubase.
Also, Cubase and other sequences.
You were 16 at the point, if I'm not wrong. You turned to drum and bass when you reached 18 or 19.
Something like that. Yeah.
So what was this the turning point, like, that has brought you towards drum and bass production and DJing when your brother showed you the drum and bass?
Yeah, literally, like he, as you correctly pointed out, he's a hip hop guy and still is. So am I. And he just asked me to come to this rave with him because, you know, he's 4 years older. So when he was like 22 when he introduced me to drum and bass as well. He's like, Martin, you know, you love hip hop, you should check this out, you know. And then I went with him, met all his friends, and I was hooked, completely hooked. And then, you know, I heard the music for the first time. I was like, fuck, this is sick. The groove, the pattern, the tempo is so sick. And already having a little bit of a production background, the next day I went home and tried it for the first time, and it was horrible. Like the beats were terrible, like so bad. But you know, there was a spark there, and that's where I started then.
So when has the production and DJing become your main source of income? Like, could you perhaps tell us something about your previous jobs before that?
So I started my full-time music career in 2013, so 6 years ago. And before that, I used to be an engineer for programming automation. So we were programming PLCs, conveyor belts, and robots, and cranes and stuff like that. And I did it full-time for a while, and then I did it part-time, the programming and part-time music. And then in 2013, I think it was April, so pretty much literally like 6 years ago, I quit my job, told my boss, his name was also Martin. I was like, Martin, sorry bro, I need to try this. You know, if I don't try this now, I will ever regret it. And he was cool with it. He was like, yeah, best of luck. If you don't succeed with music, just give me a call, I'll give you another job. Like, okay, sick, cheers bro. But so until now I haven't called him yet, so it's all, you know,
it's all good.
It's all good, yeah.
Perfect. So your first larger release came out back in like 2010 on the Drum Funk label from Vienna. It was also your first vinyl with 4 tracks, 2 on each side. Like, how did it feel to hold your music on an actual physical disc?
It was incredible, man. And it was almost 10 years ago. Fuck me, time flies. And back then, I think the physical medium also had a little bit more value still. And it was just incredible, you know. And I'm really grateful to this guy who released that piece of vinyl because, you know, vinyl production is really expensive. So he really dodged a bullet there, and he put it out, and it really motivated me as well. You know, it was a very pivotal point in my life as well. You know, breaking up with my girlfriend back then, being in university, not really liking what I was doing, and then having this sort of recognition. Okay, you put out a vinyl, even though it was a small label, but still, you know, it really pushes you. And that was not the only reason for it, but it was definitely one of the main points why I really went for it 2 or 3 years later. Definitely.
So how did your parents react when you decided to make a living through making music?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can imagine they weren't happy. My dad used to be a technician as well, now he's retired, but he was in a similar field. And he didn't just understand that, you know, different generation of people. And he didn't really get it. But then when I started my own business, I think half a year later, I actually built my studio in my parents' house. And then he really saw how much time I spent in there, and then he saw how dedicated I was. And he also saw how complicated it is. You know, it is like being a technician in the studio these days. And he really appreciates it now, you know, and he's always asking me about stuff, and, you know, when he hears a cool tune, he asks me to cut him like a ringtone version of that, so, you know, help him out with his ringtone shit. And my mom was always super supportive. She's a really creative person, and she said, whatever you do, son, you know, if your heart's in it, then you'll succeed. And yeah, now they really love it, you know, and then it's great.
Yeah, definitely. So talk to me about labels. Like, you've been like really connected with Critical. We've recently talked to Emperor, who told us it's like mainly a family business, basically. So do you feel that way as well?
100%. Yeah, there's a handful of labels. I mean, I've worked with a lot of labels. And I love working with a handful of labels now. But you know, I can appreciate them all. They're all friends. I think that's the beauty about drum and bass. There's no hate in it, is it? I mean, everyone gets along with everyone. If it comes down to labels I work with, it's definitely Critical. Also Vision and Neo Signal, I would say, are those like my 3 homes in a way, you know. And the thing is, within those 3 crews, everyone knows each other, and we're working together and stuff. You know, if the one label's putting something out, we would talk with the others to not, you know, conflict on release dates and stuff like that. It's a very family sort of environment, even though it's 3 different companies. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So like you got to Critical Music by making a remix for Kasra himself. Like, how does it feel? Like, did you enjoy working on So Real by him and Ina?
Yeah,
working with him as well.
It was wicked, man. Like. I remember I sent him the track Far Too Close, which then came out on a different label, on New Signal sub-label, New Digital. I sent Kezra the tune first, and he never got back to me about it. And I was a bit like, okay, that's weird. Turns out later he told me there was in a weird time, I think he was moving places and one of his hard drives crashed or whatever. So he was playing the song out after it came out, he loved it. And that's how he came on to me later and saying, Martin, I really love this release. I was like, dude, I sent it to you like a year ago. He's like, oh shit, do you want to remix something of the label? I was like, yeah, and there was the time So Real came out with him and Alex. And I just flipped it, and he loved it, I loved it, and then our relationship started, and he was always really supportive, and we're really, really good friends. I love this guy. I played like 6 tours with him in Australia, America. He's a sick guy, and it's still, you know, all of us are really a tight crew. It's lovely.
Perfect. So, like, apart from drum and bass production and DJing, like, do you partake in any other form of music creation or music job? Like, do you, for example, make jingles or theme songs for companies or movies and stuff like that?
I did make a couple of commercials with Inside Info a couple of years ago for Lexus, this car company, which was good fun. You know, it's a lot of also a different approach when a client asks you to make this sort of track, and you're pretty much not creative at all. You just make what the person wants. And I was helping my good friend MC Maxim. He's got his own sound design company now, and I was helping him out a little bit with sound design for one of his films. And I'm still doing a lot of hip hop stuff. You know, who follows my Instagram will know at least once a week I put up some little beat stuff I will make. And so yeah, I love making different genres. Absolutely, I love that shit.
Yeah. Like coming back to the start of our interview, like. Do people pronounce your name correctly? Like Mefjus.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the way I intended it to be said was Mefjus.
Yeah.
As I think I put the story out where the name originates. It's like a sort of pronunciation of the name Matthew, right? So it's Mefjus. And but it's a made-up word, so I can't blame anyone who pronounces it wrong. So I don't give a fuck anymore.
All right. Okay, so let's move away from production a little bit. Like, what is your opinion on drugs within the music industry, especially for the party goers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do drugs at all, and so I don't really have an opinion on that. A really good friend of mine died a couple of years ago because of drugs, so I'm pretty much against it. But for personal reasons. But I don't judge anyone who does it. I think everyone, as long as they got their legal age, should do what they think is right, and I hope they do it with some sort of responsibility. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say about that.
Relatable.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything you would like to share or plug to our viewers? For example, what not to do when they see their favorite DJ just minding his own business at a party, or are you working on something which we should not miss, or even introduce someone like young talent breaking through?
Yeah, I mean, as a piece of advice, I would think don't take everything too seriously. I love people having a passion about stuff, and I'm passionate myself about stuff, but don't overthink it. Don't get too obsessed with it. Have an open mind for other stuff, whatever the matter is, really. That's one message I want to leave you guys with. In terms of looking out for stuff, there's a track came out yesterday. Face and I did a single. It's called Ruhestörung and Nervenkitzel. It's out on Near Signal, and I did a remix for Near Signal as well. One of Face's tracks, Basic Memory. It's coming out in May, and I'm really proud of the remix. I love it. It's weird and cool.
So are you gonna play it tonight?
Yes, definitely. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
Flori! Kannst du noch skaten, Flo? Swag! Kannst du noch skaten? Cool.
All right. So we have in New Signal 10 years. And,
yes.
So Martin, well, I know him for a long time, and when I heard his music first, like Michael Mr. Drop showed it to me, I'm like, wow, this is cool shit, And so I had to get to know this dude who's doing so cool music. So we were really lucky to get a single by him on the label, and it was pretty sick to see what worked out for him afterwards. You know, like how it all started and like it got big for you. So it was for us. It was a 10 years label, we needed a remix by Martin on the label. So that was the idea, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to also mention that Floriano has been a big help when I started my own business. He was giving me pointers and try this and try that, and it is able to do stuff like that. Just don't give a fuck about it. If you really want to make music, you can succeed in music. And I was always acting like a big brother, giving me pointers and stuff, and I'm very grateful for that. So the full circle thing that we're now sitting here playing it back to back like that, having a single out yesterday.
Yeah, a single out, the remix coming.
Being a part of the remix album, super grateful.
Sick.
And,
Thank you.
I'm also very happy that the label is being there for 10 years.
It's still going.
That's a big number, man.
It is still going.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, we're underground in indie, but we don't give a fuck. It's just like how we roll, and I like it. And remix is coming out in May.
Yes.
End of May on part 2. It's going to be 3 parts.
First part is coming out when?
First part is coming out end of April. Third part end of June. And it's a remix. He did I think he gave us 3 titles he wanted to remix, and we had a look, and then we this one track by myself called Basic Memory. So I don't know how old it is actually. 6 years.
It was one of the first singles.
Yeah, it's pretty old
on the label.
But Marty was like, yeah, I'd be down to do that. So and then he was like, okay, yeah, fuck yeah, if you want to do it, and he did a fucking great job. It sounds
bro.
spot on. So check that shit out.
Yes, and also don't forget to check out the single we just did.
Link 1, Ruhestörung
und Nervenkitzel. Yes.
All right, that was it.
We do have a couple of quick questions for the end. So could you try to choose your preferable option from one of those 2 options and do as fast as possible?
Okay.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Skateboard or snowboard?
Skateboard.
Digital or vinyl?
Digital.
Sennheiser or Pioneer?
Sennheiser,
okay.
Yeah.
PC or Mac?
PC.
Ableton or Cubase?
Cubase.
Mefjus or Mefjus?
Mefjus.
Schnitzel or steak?
Schnitzel.
Okay, but juice or lemonade?
Juice.
Blondes or gingers?
Blondes.
Okay. So, and at a party as a form of support, do you prefer banners or whistles?
Say it again, banners or what?
Banners or whistles?
Whistles.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's it from us today.
Cool.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thanks for having me, bro. It was a nice one, man. Peace.
Cheers.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen with my fucking neck. Jesus. Fuck. It's a good board, though. Is it yours?
Yeah.
It's nice, man.
You know charged keyboard?
No. It's a good shape.
Checkmate.
Really? Is it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Shit, we still need this. I think that's the better one, actually.
Yeah.
Easy. I think the bail is actually better.
Yeah.
Safe.